Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sports on the Weekend show. My name is Ojiri Akpan, and this morning we'll be taking you through all the stories that have been making the rounds in the sports segment this week. Okay, just like I always love to start, I like to start with a quote from a former Italian international and Juventus defender, Diego Chiellini. He was asked a simple question: how do you defend against Cristiano Ronaldo? And this is what he had to say. He said, well, you make sure you stay close to him, you don't lose him, keep him on there, keep marking with him, stay with him. And then he was asked a simple question: how do you actually mark Lionel Messi? So just do the sign of the cross and you're done. Okay, away from that, I'm not alone on the show this morning. I have a guest with me. He's a sports analyst, a freelance sports analyst. His name is Victor Adebayo. Welcome to the show, Victor.
Morning, Odiri. It's a pleasure to strike alongside you.
Okay, pleasure to have you on the show this morning on the sports segment. Let's go quickly to the stories that made the rounds this week. Of course, the FIFA ranking came out this week, and we're still 44th. We've maintained our place on the rankings. But when it comes to Africa, a country was sub us. Now, we used to be third on the rankings when it comes to the top 5 African countries in the world, but Morocco jumped up 7 places to 40th, and now they are number 3 on the continent, and Nigeria is number 4 on the continent when it comes to the FIFA rankings. But in the top 10, the world's top 10, we see that there's no change in the top 5. We see all the countries who are there. There's no change in that at all. But of course, away from the FIFA rankings. Now, but before we leave that, Victor, there's been a lot of talk about the FIFA rankings. We are 44th in the rankings, but it hasn't affected us. It didn't stop us from qualifying for the Nations Cup. It hasn't stopped us from qualifying for the World Cup. We were 50 when we qualified, or 58 when we qualified for the World Cup. So basically, is the FIFA ranking improving football or not?
Well, I think right now we care less about the FIFA ranking because at times numbers do lie. We qualified for the AFCON Nations Cup come 2019 with a game at hand. So it shows we don't really care about the FIFA ranking. But we all know the power of FIFA ranking at times. It makes you to be in a better position.
It's just about the
seeding. Yeah, the seeding. That's
so
the vital thing there. But right now, I don't. But we all know the reason why we had to drop to remain in the same position. Our last 2 games, we drew against South Africa and we drew against Uganda as well. So that is a major factor.
I'm not so sure about that.
But right now, I think we should care less about the FIFA ranking.
Let's just care less about the FIFA ranking and care more about the fact that Omero welcomed the bouncing baby girl to his family. Him and his wife, Choba, were saying, of course, the Weekend Show family, the Weekend Show crew congratulates you. I'm sure Nigerians are happy with the fact that you added a newborn baby to your family. It's their first child together, and other Super Eagles players have also had their babies. And talking about William Trus Ekong, we also had Oge Onazi having a baby. Moses Simon also had a baby this year. So
they're balling outside the field of play. That's the most important thing.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so one good news also for the Super Eagles, Watford striker Isaac Success. He signed a 5-year deal this week, and it's going to keep him at the club at Vicarage Road till 2023. Good one for him. I was worried for him because about 2 years into his deal, he got that bad injury. He wasn't playing. Sometimes I thought it was going to be the story where we hear for Nigerian players. They're always getting released from contracts, but good one for him. Yeah,
it's a good one for him, extending his stay with the Hornets. That's Watford FC, and signing 5 years deal. When he joined from Granada in Spain 2016 under Walter Mazzari, he had a lot of issues. Firstly, fitness issues. Yeah. Then don't forget the issues we had with the 4 ladies at the hotel, stuff like that. But he was able to, bounce back. But yeah, it's a good one for him, but he needs to work on himself, his ability, on his physique. I think he's too big. But right now,
I don't have a problem with his physique. I think he should get his feet right first.
Yeah, he needs to work on himself. It's too big, and we all know how the physical requirement of the EPL, the pace, the tenacity,
Victor
all of that.
says you're too big.
Yeah, he needs to work on himself and his ability as well. It's a good one for Isaac Success, believe me, Odiri.
Okay.
But the most important thing is getting the regular playing time.
Yeah, and it's also getting back into the Super Eagles fold. But away from there too, the CAF Champions League continental action resumed on the continent this week, and Nigeria, of course, were in action when it comes to the CAF Confederations Cup and the CAF Champions League. NPFL champions Lobby Stars. Yes, they were in action in the CAF Champions League, and they didn't do too well. They went away to Ethiopia's Defense Force and away to Cameroon, UMS Deleuze of Cameroon, and we lost 1-0 in that game. Fine, you say when we come back, we'll get a victory and then we'll go to the next round in the second leg. But Also, in the CAF Confederations Cup, we had good story because Enugu Rangers were playing at home against the First Force of Ethiopia. We won 2-0. 2 second-half penalties from Godwin Aguda, 55th minute and 84th minute, and that gave us the victory. Both times, on both occasions, we find ourselves thinking, okay, in the second leg, we'll do better. What could you do? What can you do in 7 days that you couldn't do in the weeks before your first match in the preliminary round of the CAF Confederation and CAF Champions League, Victor?
I don't want to be harsh on them, but it's quite unfortunate. It's a reflection of the league. We all know how we've been struggling at the home scene, and we knew how to win the league. It's just like they are impromptu champions. that's the tag.
Okay, impromptu champions. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
They're impromptu champions, and it's so unfortunate. I don't think any of our team is going to perform outside the shore of this country. I don't think they'll perform at the CAF competitions because we know we've been struggling. Our play is quite bad. The officiating and the home win syndrome, you know, you win at home, you lose away. And things are changing right now in Africa. You can get beaten home and away. Okay,
good. So let's go away from the CAF Confederations Cup to one story that was disturbing came up this week. Former CAF President Isaiatu and the former Secretary General, can't pick his name now, El Hum something, Armani, but most importantly, the former CAF President, Issa Hayatu, was fined in Egypt. It's an economic cut in Egypt. Yeah. Was fined for about 26 or so million US dollars. He's supposed to pay that fine. And it was for, see, they did a deal for CAF and they flaunted Egyptian laws. And he has vowed that he would definitely protest and go and appeal the judgment of the economic court. We can dwell on that, but we have to go away from that because good news coming in for Nigeria. The CAF, that's the Confederation of African Football, released the list of the players for the Women's Player of the Year and the Men's Player of the Year. Good news for us. Super Falcons have 4 players in that list. So we have Desire Okparo-Nizie in that list. We also have Azizat Oshola, Francesca Odega, and Onome Ebi. Beautiful ladies, beautiful work, great job. But Azizat is the current champion.
Yeah, for sure.
And she did great work. Her team in China, Dalian Quinchan, they are actually Chinese Super League Women's Champion. So she's doing a great job. She's got some goals at the currently ongoing African Women's Cup of Nations. But we have 4 players in that list, so that's really good. It's a list of 15 nominees at the end of the day. So do you think she can win it again?
Well, I think what will play here will be the outcome of today's game because this is the Nations Cup window. And
so who shines in the final
Who shines in the final is going to end up because Jenny Van Wyk has been nominated as well, the captain of the South African team. She plies her trade in the United States.
Yeah, so Tembi Katlana also of South Africa nominated.
Yeah, so if they end up winning this competition, believe me, that's South Africa. The award might be given to Van Wyk. But if we win this competition, believe me, the likes of Azizat Oshola or Bright Okparo-Nizie might win.
So we had better win.
So this is the major factor here, not what you played at China or USA.
Okay, let's go to talk about more. Talking about the Men's Player of the Year, we know that 3 Nigerian players were listed in that one. That is Ahmed Musa, Alex Iwobi, and Ojo Igalo were all named in the Men's Player of the Year for 2018. It's a 34-man list, so it's really long, and they need to really cut down on that. But also, Nigeria's coach, Geraint Rohr, was named in Men's Coach of the Year. Yeah. Thomas Denaby, also nominated for Women's Coach of the Year. We also have Young Player of the Year, Wilfred Ndidi. And there's no Nigeria in the national team of the year, but we are in the Women's National Team of the Year. We have Nigeria in that list. Okay, so sticking. Okay, go on.
But I don't need to be rude here. I think the award should be given to Salah. It's done and dusted. Mo Salah should be given the male footballer of the year.
You can't even try to be a bit.
It should be done. I don't think there's any contest here.
Okay, it says no contest. It should be Salah. Let's go straight away from there to the African Women's Cup of Nations. Final coming up tonight. It will be Nigeria against South Africa. But yesterday it was the 3rd place game. Cameroon won, so they have qualified for the World Cup in 2019, and they beat Mali 4-2. The thing is, there were beautiful goals scored in that one. I can't show you all the goals, but we can take a look at the 2 goals that Cameroon scored. After it was 2-2, and then they scored 2 goals, and they were beautiful goals. Let's take a look.
Now the best of clearance there from Mali. And anyway, was able to win the ball away from Salimata Diarra. And what about this one? What about this one for the goal? Making it 3-2 for Cameroon again. Good technique, Good goal. She came back to produce, but this is sensational. Absolutely sensational from the captain. Great goal. Well, standard there.
Victor. You cannot believe that those goals were scored by women. Guess what? We are playing football real well. Okay, but we have to go to Europe. There were goals scored last week and beautiful, beautiful goals scored last week in the games across Europe last weekend. So we'll just take a little look at those goals. Then we'll go to the fixtures and the match of the weekend.
Armstrong, great football, brilliant goal. We've had 4 really good goals this afternoon, and Southampton. Towards Sessignon, Mitrovic! Can you believe it? He hadn't scored for almost 10 hours. Defensive ball. Alexander-Arnold! Oh, magnificent! A fantastic free kick by Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Now, as Martinez flicks it to Balde, here is Keita Balde, puts it on his left now, the shot, and he scores a beautiful goal, and Inter in the opening 10 minutes.
The dice coming up, it's long. It's Correa on the turn, brilliant goal! Brilliant goal, Joaquin Correa on the turn for Lazio! It has
now have Lille and the podium in their sights after defeating the Northerners. Mario Balotelli may not have